Hey guys, so a smaller YouTuber, his name is Nick Angelis. The title of the video is called Mutahar has been a fake engineer for 10 years. Really amazing video. He also has the Google Docs. And like I said, the best evidence from a legal perspective is often just from the person's mouth, right? And that is what this individual is using. The individual is using video clips that Mutahar himself has made and published on his YouTube videos to disprove that he is a engineer. And I do think there are questions, and Mutahar should come up openly and say that he is either an engineer or not, because there is a lot of contradictions in Mutahar's expertise. In fact, it just doesn't only apply to engineer, what type of engineer he is. Does he have a degree? It is not, according to Mutahar himself, he dropped out after a semester of college to become a YouTuber when he saw YouTube was going really well. But then he says engineer. Now, could you be an engineer and not have a college degree? Yes. But according, again, to Mutahar himself, you need a degree to be an engineer. So these are the exact words. Now, I do understand Mutahar has been online for a long time, and he's been making a lot of videos. So, of course, words out of context can be kind of portrayed very differently. But that being said, I do think the contradictions are drastic enough for me, at least as a viewer, to wonder if Mutahar has he been a fake engineer for 10 years. Some ordinary gamers, also known as Mutahar or Muta, has been claiming some very steep credentials over the years and presented him as a hard worker, a CEO, a computer engineer, and a YouTuber who manages to still upload on a daily schedule. It's an impressive story, but is any of it true? Many YouTubers think they can get away with all kinds of lies because they think their audience don't pay that much attention, and even if they notice a contradiction, they're not going to remember the original video that claim appeared in. Who is going to bother watching thousands of hours of footage to timeline the claims they made and call them out on their contradictions? Not me, but I know an easier way. So I think this is a pretty interesting point. Tech support stolen valor. Bro's a professional landlord by the sounds of it. The further his eye bags worsen, the more nutty he gets. Bro never should have put on that medallion. He is a CEO, just like Carl Jobs was the CEO of Carl Jobs Gaming till he turned it over to his wife. Muda is the CEO of SomeOrdinaryGamers Gaming LLC. Yeah, pretty much, right? This is the guy who has an interesting sounding title, but you click the video and he is blanking like hell and can't sit still. I just assume he worked at a generic IT department. I just hate how his videos are 50 minutes of just repeating himself like a dementia patient. Okay, so now let's get into the evidence. I'm a computer engineer reminds me of another quote. I used to work at Blizzard for 7 years. The guy should have never put on the Sonichu medallion. Yeah, I heard that is a curse, right? Anyone who's put on the Sonichu medallion, oh, yikes. I miss the days where he used to read creepy pastas. Write a program in JavaScript. I'm a software engineer. Trade and win $20 while losing 2,000. I'm a stockbroker. Buy a house at slightly lower prices. I'm a CEO of a company that flips assets. I mean, if this guy lies like this, how much are they lying to his wife? Laugh out loud. I don't know what that means. So basically, he's the adult version of the kid who has a hot girlfriend at another school. The weirdest part is he's lying or making up careers to mostly professional YouTubers like him. Why is he ashamed? This isn't just harmless lie, by the way. He's massively profited off this fraud. His whole channel blew up with dark web videos where he presented himself as a professional cybersecurity expert, helping demystify the internet for the layman. All of his content depends on him being this put together successful guy who works full time and is able to look at internet dramas from an unbiased position because he isn't terminally online. He has had tech companies sponsor him, presumably based on his reputation, which is entirely made up. Any money he had made day trading and other investments has only been possible because of the initial money he made from being a fraud on YouTube. If it is true and this is all based on lies, an apology won't be enough. He worked 8 years at Blizzard. So here's my thing. I don't think he has to apologize for this. I just think that it is really hard to get mother effing views on YouTube. I have to do the whole lawyer thing. I am a real lawyer, and people have checked myself out, and I have actually paid. There's a video on this channel saying I'm a real. I put that video because I don't want to continue just to make these videos and talk about it. So I just say, oh, there's a video on my channel with evidence that I am a lawyer that you can easily check online. It's actually a literal receipt from the New York State Bar. Literally a receipt that I paid in a few weeks ago. I do think there is this idea, and in legal terms, there's the idea too, where everyone is like an expert. Oh, because he's a lawyer, but he's not a copyright lawyer. He's just kind of a lawyer in South Korea, let's say. So maybe he's a lawyer in real estate and international law. So whatever it is, but now I'm a lawyer in Japanese contracts. Now I'm a lawyer in South Korean criminal law. Now I'm a lawyer in American criminal law, Amber Heard and all. There's this idea that you can be an expert in everything. It's just not true. Like, I am an expert in 2 areas, patents and specifically IP. So you could kind of take it. As I said, patents are the big boss of IP. If you can afford a patent attorney, you're doing pretty well. And immigration, because immigration is something that I feel very passionate about. Now, I'm not as good at immigration as I am about patents or copyright, or I don't do trademarks, so get rid of trademarks. I think overall, it is kind of the lawyer that Carl Jobs hired, where the Carl Jobs lawyer is an expert in like 14 different fields, like commercial real estate, bankruptcy, which later would become important when Carl filed for bankruptcy. And he's like young. He's younger than I am. He's about the same age as me, Michael DeWard. And the guy has like expertise in 14 different things. It's kind of like puffery, right? It's not, I don't think it's illegal. I don't even think it's, it's borderline unethical, but I don't think it's unethical. It's just what people do on LinkedIn. Have you guys seen this place called LinkedIn? Like, on LinkedIn, it's exactly what they said. Hey, you made a stock trade. It made you $20. Now you are the CEO of a stock brokerage firm, right? Your grandmother gave you $10 as a birthday present. You put the $10 into Apple. It went up $1. You've increased revenue by 10% overall, year over year. People lie about a lot of stuff. But in terms of like legally, there's something called puffery. So this is especially marketing, where you can lie about it. And as long as the customer, as long as it's not like factual, it's not like, oh, I made an extra $100,000 for you or an extra 200. You can lie about your job title and get away with it because everyone assumes everyone is lying about their job title. Is Mutahar a real engineer? I don't think so. I do not think he did not go to college, or he did go to college and he dropped out of college after a semester, according to Mutahar. He did not get a degree in STEM, even though he's always pushing these STEM degrees. It's easy to look at Mutahar and think that, oh, this guy went to college for IT and he's some type of engineer, just because of how Mutahar presents himself. And Mutahar presents himself this way because he gets viewership. It's not a mystery as to why Mutahar would benefit from this, right? Everyone benefits. Oh, here, Mutahar wakes up every day, scratches his balls, and does his job. YouTube is not his job. YouTube is not his job. Mutahar is a computer engineer. Mutahar wakes up every day, scratches his balls, and does his job. YouTube is not his job. Mutahar no longer does computer stuff for work. He invests in property. So a landlord. YouTube is not his job. Mutahar claims not to be an engineer anymore. Mutahar hasn't been an engineer for years. And then Mutahar claims to be an engineer. Mutahar claims to be an engineer. Mutahar claims it is exactly like that Pirate Software guy. There was a video where Pirate Software is saying, "Hey, I've never worked at Blizzard. I never talk about me working at Blizzard." And then there's like a compilation. There's only 3 minutes where he just literally, "Oh, I worked at Blizzard. Blizzard is good. Oh, I'll call my dad who works at Blizzard. He'll tell you. Do you want my dad to call you?" This is basically Mutahar and being an engineer. Somebody actually should clip it. And they actually have the timestamps. I guess it would be a lot of work, but somebody did that to Pirate Software, and it was a hilarious. I mean, if I wasn't so lazy, I would clip it. If you clip it, I will share it. Where Mutahar is saying that he is an engineer, and then he's not an engineer, and then he is an engineer, and he's not an engineer, and now he's investing in property, and YouTube is not his job, and he's now a computer engineer, and now he's this engineer, computer science engineer, yeah, he's now an ex-engineer. He has a job now, but no one knows what the job is. He's a landlord. He's now he's an engineer again. He claims to be an engineer. He's an ex-engineer. In the same June 7th, he went from an ex-engineer to being an engineer again, to being an engineer, and it's like, oh, he's a university dropout. States that you need to go to university if you want to be an engineer. So if you work that logic, if you didn't, well, I guess he did go to university, but he just dropped out. So, okay, that's kind of weird, right? So he thinks this one semester of university makes him an engineer. Mutahar has to drive to an airport for his job sometimes. Mutahar has meetings as part of his work at the office. Mutahar is a computer engineer. He asks for code. YouTube is not his job. Like, the one consistency he will tell you is YouTube is not his job. YouTube is not his job. Mutahar claimed to be an engineer. This is in 2024. Mutahar went to school for cybersecurity. Being a YouTuber is awesome now. Mutahar brags on how much money he gives to charity. Claims he does not write off charitable donations. Oh, come on, Mutahar. You got to write off the charitable donations for taxes. The last person you need to give money to is the tax system when you made a charitable donation, because you could take that tax money and then you could donate it next year. I'm starting to think that he didn't donate money to charity, because I will tell you this: if you donate money to charity, you must write it off for tax reasons, because it's A, very easy to do, and B, if you really do care about charity, it's just more money to donate to charity later. Mutahar works a regular job. YouTube is not his job. Mutahar is a computer engineer, someone who understands code. Mutahar is a computer engineer. Well, I mean, this document, YouTube is not his job. YouTube is not his job. YouTube is not his job. Oh, geez. So we covered Mutahar from the completeness, and Carl Jobs, the other side of it, got absolutely body slammed by Billy Mitchell. I've always thought that the quote, you basically had, I guess, an engineer, not engineer, act as an accountant. And Carl Jobs, I don't even know what job degree he has, if he has a degree at all. Basically trying to throw somebody in prison for charity fraud, where neither of them understood charity law, IRS regulations, or anything relevant to accounting. But hey, anyone can be anything on YouTube, right? Anyway, give this video a like if you like it, and a comment to help the algo. Hi, guys.